Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got part 2 of my October TBR. So that being said, I've got actually 7 books this time instead of 6. The reason being is because I know I said last night that I was going to get started reading Syon D's Buried with the Night, but I didn't get started on it, so I'm going to go ahead and make that one my first book today. So let's go ahead and talk about that. We got Buried with the Night by Syon D. All right. Tales of darkness, crime, and terror await you in this short collection from Syon D. 4 previously released short stories and 1 novelette have been compiled to satisfy your sinister needs. Fans of disturbing fiction, horror cinema, and series such as Tales from the Crypt should feel at home within these pages. The short story Darjeeling was published in Year's Best Hardcore Horror Volume 5 by Red Room Press. Warning, this book contains descriptions of violence that some may find disturbing. Explicit language is used freely. Reader discretion is advised. You had me at extreme violence and disturbing, so yeah, there you go. Buried with the Night, Syon D. I can't wait to start reading this one. Syon's a great guy. I've been talking to him on Instagram and through text messages. He's just a super nice guy and loves his horror, man. Tell you what, he just loves it. All right. Okay, next up, this was sent to me as an advanced reader copy from Silver Shamrock Publishing. I think this is only the second thing I've read by this fella here. Nick over Spooky Noodles, man, he talks about this guy a lot, loves his work. And I'm talking about Ronald Kelly. The first book I read by him was Undertaker's Moon. I really enjoyed it. It's a werewolf novel. And you know me and werewolf novels, all right? This is a collection of short stories. It is the essential sick stuff. All right, let's see what we got here. And we got this band across here, so I may not be able to read everything on it, but I'll try. In the foul and fetid darkness it awakens, vile, unstable, brimming with ill intent, like pus on the verge of eruption, repulsive to gaze upon and even more disturbing to comprehend. It reaches out and discovers that the others, its siblings, have abandoned this cancerous womb long ago. Angry and alone, it thrashes violently, tearing, clawing its way from dormancy into daylight and onto the dark playground of your bookshelf. Amid these pages, Southern horror master Ronald Kelly has brought together a loathsome assemblage of stories that cut deeply and expose the raw nerves of fright and revulsion. Joining his extreme horror collections, The Sick Stuff and More Sick Stuff, is a 3rd installment of yarns, both new and old, even sicker stuff. Combined, they meld and more, forming the essential sick stuff. 23 abhorrent tales to tantalize and torture the fragile psyche, to cause the stomach to revolt and goose flesh to crawl as though something visceral and alive lurks just beneath the surface. Let's see what kind of stories we got here. And I got my bent neck lady bookmark there, so there we go. That's my favorite bookmark. Anyway, let's see what kind of stories we got. I'll read this. I'm not going to read a story. We don't do that. Let's see, from the sick stuff, we got Old Hacker and the Abduction. That's just 2 of the stories from that section. For more sick stuff, we got The Thing at the Side of the Road and The Day UPS Brought Zombies. Love that title, man. That is awesome. And then we got even sicker stuff, which is Scream Queen and The Nipples and Dad's Toolbox. Man, those titles, dude, I can't wait to read this book. Yes, sirree, Bob. All right. Okay, next up, another one I got from Silver Shamrock Publishing is another one that was an advanced reader copy. They actually sent me a regular copy of this, and I appreciate it, guys. This is Coffin Shadows by Glenn Krish and Mark Steensland. 12 years ago, Janet Martley's infant son died under mysterious circumstances. Consumed with grief and anger, she ran away to start again. Yesterday, a 12-year-old boy with dead eyes appeared in her classroom begging for help, but Janet doesn't believe in ghosts. Today, her psychiatrist tells her she must return home to confront her past and uncover the mystery of what happened. Only some questions don't want to be answered, and some answers hide in the shadows, in the coffin shadows. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. All right. Okay, there we go. And that was Coffin Shadows by Glenn Krish and Mark Steensland. Next up, this is book 4 from Death's Head Press. This is book 4 of the Splatter Western series. I've read the other 3. The first 3, excuse me. They're awesome. And of course, that is The Magpie Coffin. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the author of that book. I'm terribly sorry. Then you got Hunger on the Chisholm Trail, which is by M. Ennenbach. Oh, Wiley Young was the first author. And then we got Dust by Chris Miller. All of them are awesome. Loved them. 4, 5-star, and 4.5-star books right there, you know. This here is by Christine Morgan. And this is The Night Silver River Run Red. All right. And this splatter western, I should probably say it in a splatter western style, it should be like The Night Silver River Run Red. All right. Here we go. Some things, according to Cody McCall, are worth risking a whipping, such as sneaking out with your friends after dark for a peek at the traveling shows setting up just outside of town, oddities the signs promise, marvels, grotesqueries, exotic attractions, and mysterious magics. Worth risking a whipping? Sure. Worth risking life and limb and maybe more? Worth risking being ripped to pieces by ravenous, inhuman brutes? Worth crossing paths with those strange, silent cult folk from the High Valley? Worth all the fire and bloodshed and horror and death? Because something far worse than any ordinary traveling show has come to town, and one thing is for certain, those who survive, if any, will never forget the night. Silver River, Run Red. All right, that's by Christine Morgan. Love that cover. Okay, next up. Now, this guy here, I saw the cover of his book on Instagram. I love the cover of it, and I said, well, is he on Instagram? He was. I sent him a message, say, hey, I love your cover. He said, hey, I can send you a copy. And I'm like, really? He said, yeah, really. And I'm like, all right. He said, okay. And then he sent me a copy. And that is Her Infernal Name. And I'm sorry about the glare. Her Infernal Name and Other Nightmares by Robert P. Atone. Okay, what we got here? From waking fears to heartbreaking nightmares, this collection of short fiction is a glimpse into the terrors we face every day from the mind of Robert P. Atone. In The Arborist, a woman hears the mysterious call of the forest. 5 friends exploring an archipelago find themselves set upon by the island's hungry inhabitants in The Monitors. A young woman confronts the mystery of her infertility in Kelly, Watch the Stars. These works are joined by the title novella, Her Infernal Name, about the cruel intersection of desire and desperation, and many other stories crafted in the hopes of keeping you up at night. Her Infernal Name and Other Nightmares. All right. And this one here is actually part of the Halloween Creature Feature Reading Extravaganza. It is the last prompt, which is From Beyond, and that is to read a book of cosmic horror or Lovecraftian horror written by an author of color. All right. Of course, the Halloween Creature Feature Reading Extravaganza is hosted by myself and Jason White of Jason's Weird Reads. And it's going to run from October 1st to October 31st, so I hope you guys join that. I've seen a lot of TBR videos for this. I really appreciate it because this is awesome. It's great to be able to come up with something and have people participate. So, yes, thank you very much. Anyway, for this one, I'm going to read White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi. I apologize again for the glare. Let me see if I can get that there. There we go. Okay. There's something strange about the Silver family's house in the closed-off town of Dover, England. Grand and cavernous with hidden passages and buried secrets, it's been home to 4 generations of Silver women. Anna, Jennifer, Lily, and now Miranda, who has lived in the house with her twin brother, Elliot, ever since their father converted it to a bed and breakfast. The Silver women have always had a strong connection, a pull over one another that reaches across time and space. And when Lily, Miranda's mother, passes away suddenly while on a trip abroad, Miranda begins suffering strange ailments. An eating disorder starves her. She begins hearing voices. When she brings a friend home, Dover's hostility toward outsiders physically manifests within the 4 walls of the Silver house, and the lives of everyone inside are irrevocably changed. At once an unforgettable mystery and a meditation on race, nationality, and family legacies, White is for Witching is a boldly original, terrifying, and elegant novel by a prodigious talent. White is for Witching. Helen Oyeyemi. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. If I'm not, I apologize, but that's the way it reads to me, is Oyeyemi. All right. Last but not least, I have from a fellow booktuber here, I found out he had this collection of short stories. Somebody else mentioned it on one of their channels. I'm like, oh, I didn't know he had a book of short stories. So I wrote him. I said, hey, you got a book of short stories? He says, yeah. He said, I can send you a copy. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. And I said, okay. And he said, sure. And then he sent me the copy. Kind of like the one from Robert Piatone sending me her Infernal name. Okay, anyway, this is from Jason White of Jason's Weird Reads. And this is Isolation. I love that cover. That's just an awesome cover. So simple, yet so, I don't know, enigmatic, mysterious, awesome. From the twisted mind of Jason White are 9 previously uncollected stories of isolation, desperation, horror, absolute, and despair. Within these pages, you will meet a man who becomes obsessed with a room that whoever enters does not come back out. A woman learns from a demon how to protect herself from the man who's been hunting her. A man who has lost his family to a house fire finds that there are creatures living inside the ruins of what was once his home. Within, you will also find a young couple who see a poster advertising a heavy metal concert and decide to go, but find that the musicians and fans are from the deepest pits of hell. A woman suffering the loss of her husband in the Afghanistan war finds that her family cottage is haunted with a darkness that looks all too familiar to her own soul. A young janitor creates a new drug by accidentally mixing cleaning chemicals, and when he goes to destroy it, will his fellow users be so enthusiastic to get clean? Enter these strange and eldritch worlds populated with people you will care about and creatures that will make your skin crawl. Maybe you will find something of yourself breathing within these pages. That sounds awesome. What do we got here? Let's see some of the stories we got. And he signed this too. He said, thank you for your interest in my work. Don't mix chemicals and stay safe. Jason White. Oh, and Robert Atone also signed it too. He signed his book too. And, thanks for taking an interest in his work. I believe it was. Let's see what he said here. I'm going to go back a minute. I'm sorry. I'm backtracking here. Yes, hope you enjoy these spooky tales. And I love it when somebody signs their work, man. That's just awesome. And especially when they personalize it. I'm not going to sell these books on eBay or anything like that, so it don't matter to me. You can put to John, or whatever. Personalize it. I love it. All right. Anyway, what do we got from him? From Jason, we have stories such as Chemical Burn, Serpent Sun, The Witch at Midnight, House of Coal. We got Isolation, the title story, Divorce and the Black Cat. Yeah, some really great stories, and that's not all the titles. All right, that's Isolation by Jason White. All right, that's going to do it for part 2 of my October TBR. Now, the funny thing about this is that I did the part 1, I did the part 2, and you would think that is all the books I'm going to be reading in October. No, it is not, because I've bitten off more than I can chew. I know that. Because I've not only got these 12 books, but I've got 5 books. Well, actually 4, because White is for Witching is part of it. But I've actually got 4 more books to read for the Halloween Creature Feature Reading Extravaganza. This is going to run from October 1st to October 31st and is hosted by myself and Jason's Weird Reads. I think I said that already before. Anyway, shameless plug. Alrighty. And then I've also got the Haunting of Hill House Challenge, which is, there's no time limit on that. I came up with that one. There's no time limit. Take your time. Okay? So I might try to read some of the books from that too. But anyway, that is my October TBR Part 2. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day and see you later. Bye-bye.